Hey, it's Tobias here with Noematic Elevation Group, back with another video. Today we're going to talk about ownership, and this is why a lot of people are having trouble getting the concept of the trust. The Rothschild saying that everybody goes and spreads around, they never really explain it. Own nothing, control everything. You can't own anything. You can only use it. There's a doctrine called fruit from the poisonous tree. You get a chance to go pick that book up, help me understand the concept a lot. You can only use the stuff here. The United States owns everything. Everything. So, what did I say in the last video? They do it perfect. When you open up a business or you go and get incorporated, that business is actually owned by the United States, not you. And you have to kind of get away from the concept of this. It's my business. I own this, and me, my, I. You don't want to own anything. You just want to have good personal credit so that you can take your private money or your credits and put it into a business to create cash flow and jobs. That's really the big thing about everything, is creating jobs. So jobs create tax money, and it helps keep people busy and productive. That's all this stuff is all about. When it comes to the trust, the 3 steps are your personal credit, your business credit, and then you do your trust and get all your assets under your trust. That's what our program is all about. Unless you were left with a considerable amount of wealth from either family trust or insurance, everybody's starting at the same place. So the only leverage that you got is your credit. And the reason you want to get your personal credit straight first is because you're not going to be able to move on to business credit and trust if your credit is messed up. It's just not going to happen. I've done it. I can take a corporation from zero with no money, per se, and you can create one, but it's gonna take forever. Why not just take that 3 months to 6 months, maybe even 9 months for some people, depending on how bad it is, and get your credit straight so that now when you go pick your business up, you can maybe go get a shelf corp, or there's some other tricks that you can aid your business. And now you're starting out with, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 trade lines or more. Remember, they give businesses more credit than they would an individual, because it's more likely that business is going to pay back the money and not default, versus giving somebody that same amount of money that is an individual. Some of the things that you hear out there are correct about the United States being a corporation and a trust, and people think that they're doing it wrong or the government is out to get you. It's just that we don't know the rules and how to play the game. And this is one of the things that they've been doing for years, that we don't grasp a concept on, because you're not taught to do that. You're taught to work for the system. You're not taught how the system works. They give you like a monopoly piece and you get a default piece, and then that's you. Some people never come across any of this information in their lifetime. And even though I'm going to put a little bit out for free, you got to get the concept out of your head of this ownership thing, or it's not going to work. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Now, the trust can own it. If the United States has a trust and everybody's saying it's a trust, why don't you have a trust? And under their trust, they got thousands of corporations. People open businesses and corporations every day under the United States, and they own them. They can tell you what to do with them. They can shut them down, whatever. It's theirs. Now you get to operating foreign, which we'll get to that as well in another video. There is a way that you can set up things without the United States, but that takes an understanding as well of even having a domestic trust. So a domestic trust is just a trust in the United States. A foreign trust is a trust outside of the United States. And you got to work yourself up to these 3 steps before you can even start talking about doing a foreign trust and operating overseas, which is very beneficial. Import-export is the biggest thing going on around here. That's why the supply chain is messed up now and they're having so many issues. But the main thing is getting your personal credit all the way together and getting you funded first. Even if you don't have any money, you can start with your personal credit like I did years ago. And you can take that money to set your business up and your business credit and get something cash flowing, as well as your trust. But if you think that you own all of that stuff, you're going to mess it up. Just even your entitlement in your mind of it. Don't say my business. You're working for the business if you're a CEO. Elon Musk works for Tesla. He owns controlling shares, or his trust does, but he does not own the business. The business is a separate entity, separate EIN number, separate entity. He's controlling Tesla. That's why they say he has controlling shares in Tesla. So that just means that he has the biggest vote and he controls the company. So he makes the rules for the company. Just like the United States has all the shares. They make the rules for everything under their corporation or trust. This is not spooky, man. And people will make this stuff spooky. Oh, the government's watching me. Yeah, they're probably watching you because you're out here doing some of this spooky stuff, thinking that somebody's going to give you $1 billion when you send in a 1099-A, or somehow the government's going to pay your bills. They provided all of this stuff for you. Okay, I'll give you an example when we talk about this. So maybe you can change your perspective a little bit. Look around you. When you drive around and you start going around, look around. Look at the cars, the telephone poles, the asphalt, the street lights, the manhole covers. Who's making all of this stuff? Where's it coming from? Did you source it? Do you know how to make your own road? Do you know how to make your own telephone? Even your cell phone. The probably 90% of you guys are watching me on your cell phone. If the world shut down today, could you build your own cell phone? I mean, eventually it would happen again. But if there was a cataclysm like it has been, that's why the technology has gotten lost. Can you build your own telephone? Can you put out your own road? Can you build wire to wire your houses? Can you go over to India and source material for clothing and dyes and perfumes and bring them here? That's what they're providing for you. That's where your tax money and stuff is going. Okay? Nobody's stealing nothing from you. I'm sure there's people doing some things that they shouldn't be doing, but that's just like everywhere. But the system itself is set up perfect. Okay? There's things that go on and get built around here that are sourced that they're bringing in and providing for you. And that's what they're charging you for. That's the agreement. And all of the stuff in trust. And that has to be there. So the full faith and credit part of it that everybody says about the birth certificate, that is for if you go overseas and you do some damage over there, the United States is actually covering what you're doing. Like the chick in Russia right now, she's backed by the full faith and credit of the United States, the basketball player. So anything that she does over there, the United States is telling Russia, okay, if she messes up, we'll cover her. And then we'll deal with her when she gets back, per se, or whatever it is. But just some things to think about as far as ownership and trust and all of this different things that are going around with the 1099A and C and the OID. Don't get spun out, man. Just stay focused on your credit. Find something to do to help humanity. Do something for your community with your money and educate people. Whatever it is you do, bring in some cash flow so that you can get your business off the ground and stop looking for some free money. Credit is actually about as free of money as you're going to get. So that's why I love it. You don't need to go to the bank, per se, to get a loan, a traditional loan, when you can do it off your credit cards to get started. If you got $100,000, $200,000 on your credit card, you can leverage that to death, man. You can make money just off of that. Like, we have trade line programs to where if you want to be an authorized, add authorized uses on your account, your credit card account, and make a few bucks, that at least cover your minimum payment if you're, having a little bit of a hard time with your funds and you don't want to get a credit card because you're scared of the minimum payment and all of that good stuff. They got ways to make money that you can leverage that credit to create income for yourself. And I encourage people to do that, but people don't understand the power of that credit. Also, I want to cover, and we'll probably go into, maybe I might make a different video on it, but a little bit about the 401ks. We got a lot of people that are retiring. They are not set up with anything as far as except what they got set up with their job, and that's a 401k or 403b. Man, you guys are going to get taxed to high heaven. You're going to get double taxed. So if say your retirement fund is $500,000, when you retire, you're automatically going to be down $250 off the jump. And I think that's going to hurt a lot of people who don't know that they can roll that money over. And we got programs for that as well, where we can go on ahead and get you in a different investment vehicle and get your money rolled over so that you're not going to lose half of your retirement without realizing it. Because once they take it, it's too late, baby. It's gone. So we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But I just wanted to kind of come on here and talk about ownership and get people's mind wrapped around the whole credit thing and how people are making millions of dollars leveraging their credit and starting these businesses, and the use of it. So just food for thought. I hope everybody has a good weekend. I'll try and come on and make another video for you guys. But read that, anything you can get your hands on as far as educating yourself about how trusts work, personal credit and business credit is good. And everybody, I don't know everything. Everybody has their own system. I can only teach you what's worked for me and what I know works from teaching other people. This credit thing is 1,000 people out here so-called doing it, or credit experts, but a lot of people are only surface level. They can get your credit clean and everything, but it's the strategy of what to do with it afterwards. You can walk around here with an 800 credit score, but if you don't know how to use it, then it doesn't mean anything. It's useless. So look out for opportunities and educate yourself, and also read that book, The Fruit from a Poisonous Tree. That'll get you an understanding about ownership and everything too, and why you can only use stuff. So hope everybody has a good weekend. Get back with you a little bit later, and go visit the website, like and subscribe to the video as well. I always forget to say that. That helps us get into the algorithm and all that good stuff. So we'd appreciate it if you find the content valuable, that you like and subscribe. Tobias from the Noematic Elevation Group, your credit restoration specialist, and I'll talk to you a little bit later.